FPL Gameweek 22 transfer tips. Who are the best players in each and every single position to transfer in, paying in mind we might be wildcarding in Game Week 24 or even now? Should we be captaining Ekitike as a differential captain? All of this will be covered in this video. Man, it's good to be back. I missed you guys. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, guys. As you see, I have been working and I have been in the shadows, but nonetheless, I am back. I'm here for you guys, and I want to start off with what you want. So let's start off with the top 3 forward transfer picks to be bringing in Game Week 22. Now, at number 3, all right, might be controversial, but Jean-Philippe Mateta, I think, is a good pick. Going into the long term, he's got some good fixtures. Entry point isn't so bad. Fine, Sunderland does have some of their players that are coming back from AFCON, but I think their fixture congestion isn't so bad, considering that they're only going to be playing their Conference League games, I think, only after Game Week 25. So they've got a bit of rest period. Sa isn't back yet, but I think that with some signings that they've just got with Johnson, they are out of the actual FA Cup as well. This should give them a bit of rest period and being able to actually focus. And I think with Jean-Philippe Mateta's high XG, you guys should be getting some goals. They got some real great fixtures even after Game Week 24. I feel like in the next 6, Chelsea is probably the one that's questionable because we don't know how they are even defensively. So we could even look at that game as actually a very good game for Mateta. Now, for me, number 2 is really a debate of whether or not Mateta should be number 2 or should number 2 be number 3 actually. And that would be the one man himself, Ollie Watkins, who has been in a bit of form, scoring some goals. But the reason why for me he's the number 2 is because he's just in a better team, in all honesty. Their fixture congestion as well isn't all that bad considering they're doing well in the Europa League. They should be in the top 8, and then they should have a free midweek as well in Game Week 26. And entry point Everton as well. So the one thing for me that's like just not good is the fact that he is 8.8 right now. And we ain't got that kind of money. But nonetheless, there's going to be options in the strike force. Paqueta might be moving, and that might open up some ideas for Bowen, who could even be on penalties. And we might want money in our structure of having maybe a 3-4-3 instead of a 3-5-2 or even a 3-5-1. And a lot of people are thinking about having Mane or a Krupi Jr. And I'm not sure of that right now, considering that even Chelsea might even open up in terms of options as well. And I'm just mentioning some good options really, having mentioned number 1, number 3 and number 2 picks. But I just feel Ollie Watkins is a good pick if you are going to spend that money. Of course, cheaper options is Krupi, but we have to see whether or not he is going to be starting those games, considering that Clifford is out, Semenyo is gone as well. Brooks did really look good in the FA Cup? Yeah, the FA Cup as well. So we'll see where Krupi really fits in there and how many minutes he really gets, because we don't, fine, he's 4.6, but we don't really want to, have a dead spot, all that, considering fixture congestions, especially when it comes to having a player who should be playing week in, week out and doesn't have a fixture congestion as well. Ollie Watkins, nonetheless, a pick for me. We have to see if whether or not Chelsea does give us a Liam Delap as an option as well, and maybe even a João Pedro. Sesko is looking good, but he's not number 1. So who is number 1 in the strike force? Well, for me, this game week, I think we could be bringing in the man himself, Ekitike. He's got a great entry point with Burnley. Then he's got Bournemouth, who's sitting bottom in terms of XG conceded, goals conceded really, so XGC. So I think it's a really good, transfer in. And Newcastle themselves are not looking good away. We've seen what Man City's done with them as well. So he'll have that Newcastle game and that Man City game at home. I think he's got great home fixtures. As much as they are the tough ones there, I think they look pretty good. So long term, you can still go with him. And I know a lot of people had him because they moved from Thiago to Ekitike. But I think if you're on Ekitike, stay, Thiago's fixtures don't look all that great for me after Game Week 24. So if you're on Thiago, I'd say stay. At the moment, I think we have to, question Chelsea's defense. That's who Thiago's going to be playing. And then I think he's got Nottingham Forest. I'm not sure after that. But nonetheless, I think his next two games are actually good for him. But if you are buying new and you want to go long, remember Isak is out. I think Ekitike is the man to go for. And I think this is also a good time to actually touch on captaincy. Can you captain Ekitike as a differential? I think definitely, absolutely. And fine, he just came from injury. He did get some minutes, which I think is exactly what you wanted to see. And Liverpool, I think, will definitely let him start in that game against Burnley, considering they, don't have really any important game this week. They don't have an important game after. I think I'd have to check between Burnley and Bournemouth because their fixtures are a bit free. But I know they will be starting Champions League soon enough. But nonetheless, I think Ekitike is good to start both games. In fact, all games moving forward as well. So that for me is the strike force, even some mentions of names that are not in my top three, in all honesty. But yeah, let us now get into the actual midfield picks. But before we do, now, if you're new to the channel and you're enjoying that piece of content, please hit that subscribe button. It really goes a long way in supporting me and growing the channel. Just for that, I decided to give you 50% off the FPL Force app. Just make sure that your YouTube is set public, and I have put instructions in the FPL Force's profile settings underneath the subscription tab, so you can make sure you see how to set your YouTube on public, and we can validate that as well, so you can get your 50%. Now, let's get back to the video. All right. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, guys. Now, back to the midfield. Who is in at number 3? At number 3, I have Cody Gakpo. Now, this could be a debate between any real Liverpool midfield, if you ask me in all honesty, because Cody Gakpo, I like him because he's really there when it comes into getting those goals. And I say debate because Dominic Szoboszlai, I think long term is not such a bad idea. I think we've just spoken about the fixtures as well, really being really good for them, considering they have the Newcastle and Man City game at home. Now, I did mention in my previous video, which was the free hit, that I feel like Cody Gakpo could be getting some minutes there, and which is why I've put him ahead of Dominic Szoboszlai, and also the mere fact that Salah should be back on Game Week 24, so taking Szoboszlai really off of those penalties. But Gakpo could be playing on the left, with Szoboszlai playing on the right, and Verts playing in the center, and that's how I'm seeing it with Connor Bradley's injury. And then of course Ekitike playing up front. And I think, with Gakpo playing on that left, it really seems like a good option, considering that's when he was really playing well and getting a lot of his goals as well, even goal contributions. So I think he's a really good pick going into that into this game week. Great entry point, and even just moving forward with him as a pick. Now, at number 2, who do we have? The man himself, Rodgers. And you're probably thinking, Cat, this guy was number 1. Yeah, I think, with him and number 1, it really is debatable. I pretty much would also have him at number 1. It's just someone's got to go number 1, someone's got to go number 2. But nonetheless, Everton as an entry point without their key players, I think it's a really good fixture for him long term as well. He is like the main man there, really, in all honesty. I think there's not really much to be said here when it comes to convincing you guys, because his fixtures are also looking really good, and the way Aston Villa are playing, it's as if, they have their build-up phase, but once they get into that real attacking third, then they start to look for Rodgers, who either becomes the actual person who scores the goal or the final pass before the goal. So I think he's really good for the long term. Another long-term pick. Fixtures look good as well. So yeah, I think he's honestly number one pick. Now, I mean the number two pick. Now for the number one pick, it might be very controversial for you guys, but hear me out. For number one, I have the man himself, Enzo Fernandez. Now you might be like, Kit, what the hell? I just think that we should be yes, careful about who we pick when we go into the actual Chelsea players, but Enzo I think is very much covered when it comes to being fit, being able to play in multiple positions. So for example, with Liam Rosinha, they feel like he's going to be playing in that 10 position, which I also feel like Cole Palmer would be playing on the right hand side. But even if he doesn't play in that 10 position, you know he's still going to get those minutes in the defensive roles, maybe even next to Caicedo. As much as I know Liam Rosinha has history with Andre Santos and he used him even in the cup games, I don't think, you know, Enzo's a player which you'd be benching considering, you know, his performances this season. The highest XG, the second player with the highest XG, I believe XGI as well. So if that player is playing in the number 10 and Liam Rosinha's team with great fixtures like this, guys, I don't know about you, man, but you gotta have him. You know, you gotta have him. And if you want to go safe, I think he's actually the best safe pick. Mentioning Cole Palmer, the issue with Cole Palmer is he's growing sensitivity. I say sensitivity because I don't want to say injury, but it's like pretty much is like it's still a topic, and you don't want to be spending 10.4 million on a player who's not necessarily playing 90 minutes. And we all know, like, all the goals, most of the goals really come after the 74th minute, and that's when your player needs to be playing. And Cole Palmer could be rotated, and Liam Rosinha is gonna be that yes man, and Chelsea have that rotation policy. And if they're like, yo, Cole Palmer can play, you can start, you can play 60 minutes, but once that 70 minutes hit, you got to take him off, you know? On top of that, their fixture congestion is hectic, like really hectic. Chelsea is going to be playing almost every 3-4 days as well. Now that as well, with Cole Palmer's injury, I just don't feel like, you know, he's necessarily the type of pick that you should be going for. So if you're looking for a Chelsea midfielder that you want to have, you know, it's going to be short for minutes as well, playing in a number 10, getting those opportunities, Enzo Fernandez, in my opinion, is your guy. That is my opinion. Let us now go into the defense as well. But before I do, did I mention I'm growing a community which I would love for you to be part of? And all you need to do is just sign up for a paid membership on the FPL Force app, which you can get 50% off of if you are subscribed to the channel. Would love to chat to you guys before, during, and after the actual game weeks. And I can also get in your questions, which I can answer to you right here on the actual channel. So please make sure you do that. Make sure your YouTube is set public. I have put the instructions to do that in the profile settings underneath the subscription tab. So please, I'd really love to see you guys in the community and chat with you guys as well. Now, let's get back to the video. All right. Would really love to see you guys in the community. Now, let us get to the defense. At number 3, Mickey van der Ven. Right now, you must be saying, Cat, what are you talking? I'm switching off. I'm going off. This is nonsense. Hold up. Wait a minute. Listen to me. Okay. Mickey van der Ven for me would be your 2-week punt. You got Burnley, and he's got West Ham. One at home, one away, doesn't matter. But I said this before in one of my videos that Thomas Frank is under pressure right now, so he has to deliver. And I think with those fixtures, for a 2-week punt, I like Mickey van der Ven. In all honesty, you know, he's good in goal threat, headers, as well as even running at defenders if he gets the chance and opportunity. We saw he even almost had a penalty, I think, in one of the cup games. So I really like him for these games. I think you can definitely get something off of them. And with that type of pressure on Thomas Frank, he has to make sure he doesn't concede, because that could end up being a draw for him, knowing that his team is not necessarily great in terms of scoring. So I think defensively he's going to have to stiffen up, and you could be seeing some good clean sheets from him as well, and maybe even some DEFCON, even though you can see that DEFCON per 90 is 6.3. He's not necessarily strong for it, but you could absolutely hope, because they know they need to keep those clean sheets and win these games. Because if Thomas Frank doesn't win these games, I don't know about you, but I think he's going to take a hike, considering the amount of managers that are being fired at this point of the season right now, not just even in the Premier League. Now, I do have to mention a man himself, Munoz, because Munoz would have been in this section as my number 3, and it was a debate because he is currently right now 50%. We do have to hear what Lasner says in terms of what we think, whether or not he's going to be ready to play, but I think even now is not necessarily a bad time to bring him in, and this is more so for the long run, because if you're going double Arsenal defense, I feel like a set and forget defense, 3 at the back, Gabriel, Munoz, and Timber. If not Timber, fine, and you don't want to go double up that way, and you want to have Raya, then I think you can bring in another player, of course, that has good fixtures, maybe even from Chelsea. But let's get back into the defense, and I'll show you which player I think actually you could bring in from Chelsea. But at number 2 right now, I think Frimpong is actually a great option, considering Connor Bradley's injury and the fixtures as well. We know that they are really, really good, and this could be that opportunity that Frimpong needs absolutely to just lift off in his first season at Liverpool. He is down from that 6 million he initially was, which is 5.7, a lot cheaper than Virgil van Dijk as well. Of course, you're not coming in here for the DEFCON, but you're coming in here for the potential attacking returns. I mean, his points per 90 in the games that he has played, you can see 7.3. So that tells you that, like, hey, this guy, he can really get those assists. And yeah, I think he's really a good option, considering the fixtures and the fact that Connor Bradley's gone. Great entry point as well, if you want to spend that money, and you maybe even want to use him as a placeholder until Munoz is actually back. So yeah, I think it could be your decision what you think, but I don't think Frimpong's necessarily a bad option if you want to get into the Liverpool defense and don't want to go Virgil van Dijk, maybe want to go a bit cheaper. Konate is also another option, of course, but I just like the excitement of watching Frimpong go down that line and potentially even get an assist or something. So yeah, at number 1, I would have man himself, again, Chelsea player, Chalobah. Now, I know I said we need to tread lightly with who we actually pick from Chelsea, and I stick by that, because we need to see who Liam Rosina is actually going to be playing. I think though Chalobah is actually a nailed player in that defense, and I think it's safe to go for him, in all honesty. When it comes to the DC, he's not necessarily all up there, but yeah, he definitely get those DCs 1, 2, 3, 4 here, along with those good fixtures that he has as well. I just think he's a really, really great pick, in all honesty. So that's my opinion when it comes to him. I think a nailed player, regardless of who's going to be coming in, but next to him we could see a cheaper option. Whether or not they also have DEFCON or even better, we don't know, but we'll have to keep an eye on that, in all honesty. So yeah, for me, I think he's definitely a number 1, with his fixtures coming up. Great entry point as well at home. But yeah, let's see. That's really just me and my opinion. I really want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comment section. Remember to also hit that subscribe button, and if you haven't seen my wildcard or free hit as well, then you guys can go and check out those videos right over here. If you're looking to wildcard or free hit this game week, my team selection video will be coming out soon, so I'll see you guys in that next video. Thank you so much for your love and support. Love you guys. Peace.